Are you tired of the same old ordinary life? Do you wish there was something more, some hidden truths that could add a touch of magic to your everyday existence? Prepare to be amazed as we reveal the secrets that will leave you in awe. At number 10, falling in love. Falling in love can have a profound impact on our emotions and behaviors, triggering a series of reactions in the brain similar to those experienced when taking cocaine. The rush of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, is so intense that it has been found to activate the same regions of the brain that light up when someone is high on cocaine. This explains why people who have recently fallen in love often experience euphoria, an intense sense of happiness and well-being, as well as a heightened state of energy and motivation. However, this intense feeling can also lead to obsessive thoughts about the loved one and an overwhelming desire to be with them all the time. Number 9, smell coffee. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee has a remarkable ability to reduce stress levels. In fact, studies have shown that the smell of coffee can lower cortisol levels, a hormone that is released in response to stress. When you inhale the rich, toasty scent of coffee, your brain triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and relaxation. This is because the olfactory bulb, the part of the brain responsible for processing smells, is directly connected to the reward center in the midbrain. As dopamine is released, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which counteracts the effects of the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. Number 8, you can't tickle yourself. Have you ever tried to tickle yourself and failed? It might seem like a simple party trick, but it turns out that there is a fascinating neurological reason behind your inability to do so. Our brains have the ability to predict what sensations we will experience, and this is what allows us to prepare ourselves for everyday occurrences. However, this same ability can also cause issues like déjà vu. When you try to tickle yourself, your brain anticipates the sensation and your reflexes take over, preventing you from being tickled. This is because the somatosensory cortex, the area of the brain that processes touch sensations, is able to predict the location and intensity of the tickle before it happens. So while you may be able to surprise yourself with a well-timed back scratch, tickling yourself remains an elusive feat. Number 7, your brain cannot multitask. Multitasking may seem like a valuable skill in our fast-paced world, but research suggests that it is a myth. Our brains cannot truly perform multiple tasks at the same time without sacrificing quality. When we attempt to multitask, we are actually switching between tasks very rapidly, and our brains are not designed to handle such quick transitions efficiently. Studies have found that multitasking reduces our ability to focus and increases the risk of errors. Additionally, multitasking can lead to decreased productivity and an increased risk of burnout. Instead, it is more effective to focus on one task at a time and give it our full attention. By doing so, we can ensure that we are producing high-quality work and avoiding unnecessary mistakes. Number 6, facial expressions. Our facial expressions can have a powerful influence on our emotions, according to the facial feedback hypothesis. This hypothesis proposes that the facial expressions we make can actually influence our mood. For example, when we force ourselves to smile, even if we don't feel like it, our brain interprets this as a signal to be happy. Similarly, when we frown, our brain interprets this as a cue to feel sad or angry. This is because the muscles in our face are connected to nerves that send signals to the brain. By manipulating our facial expressions, we can actually trick our brains into feeling a certain way. This is why people who wear masks or use Botox may experience changes in their emotions. Number 5, memories are reconstructed. Contrary to popular belief, our brains do not store memories as images or videos that can be replayed. Instead, our memories are reconstructed each time we recall them. This means that every time we remember an event, we are piecing together fragments of information that our brain has stored. Interestingly, our brains fill in the gaps in our memory using our previous knowledge and experiences. This can lead to inaccuracies and distortions in our memories. Our brains essentially create a narrative that makes sense to us, even if it is not entirely accurate. Number 4, negative bias. Our brains have a negative bias, meaning that we tend to focus more on negative memories than positive ones. This can be a helpful adaptation, as it helps us learn from our mistakes and avoid repeating them. However, it can also be detrimental, as it can lead to rumination and a fixation on negative experiences. Studies have shown that negative memories are processed more deeply and are more easily recalled than positive memories. This is because the brain's reward system is more active when we are experiencing or remembering negative events. Number 3, phantom vibrations. Approximately 68% of individuals between the ages of 18 and 34 have experienced phantom vibrations from their phones. This phenomenon occurs when a person feels their phone vibrating on their body, but there is no actual vibration. The sensation is often accompanied by the belief that one has just received a notification or a message. This can be attributed to a combination of factors, including heightened anxiety and dependence on mobile devices. The anticipation of receiving messages can cause the brain to misinterpret harmless physical sensations as vibrations from the phone. Number 2, spending on others. According to research, spending money on others can increase our own happiness levels, but it is important to do so with intention and mindfulness. When we spend money on material possessions, we often experience a temporary boost in happiness, but it is short-lived. On the other hand, when we spend money on others, our brains release more dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This suggests that spending money on others activates the reward circuit in our brain to a greater extent than spending money on ourselves. One study found that people who spent money on others reported higher levels of happiness and well-being than those who spent money on themselves. Number 1, overthinking. Overthinking can be detrimental to our mental health, leading to increased levels of anxiety and even depression. When we overthink, we tend to dwell on negative thoughts and scenarios, which can cause us to become fixated on potential problems. This constant state of worry and fear can lead to a decline in our mental health. Additionally, overthinking can cause us to lose sleep and become fatigued, which can exacerbate our anxiety and make it difficult to function effectively in daily life. It is important to find healthy ways to manage overthinking, such as through meditation or therapy, to maintain good mental health. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more.